What's up, everybody? It's Friday, so let's talk PlayStation. So the first news story I want to talk about is Sony's definitely considering putting the PS Vita and the PS3 in a single bundle for people to buy. Sony's Fergal Gara, managing director of PlayStation UK, recently told CVG that they're definitely considering it and looking at the possibilities and all that and seeing, if there's even like consumer demand for it. Considering Sony's really been pushing the connectivity between PS Vita and PS3 with cross-play, cross-buy, remote play and all that, it definitely sounds like a good idea, especially since the Wii U's coming out and it's basically the same functionality. And it's also sort of funny to think about how the Wii U's coming out, and no insult to the Wii U, but, this is, the next generation of systems is going to be launched with the Wii U, and, technically, PlayStation's already doing this. Mind you that, there's only a few games and all that, and it doesn't always work with cross-buy and cross-play. There's only a few supported titles. I know you guys really are angry that you can't play all your games on your Vita. But it's just funny to think about how when Wii U's coming out and it's supposed to launch the next generation, PS3 rivals it in graphics still, and the Vita is even doing what the Wii U's doing with the gamepad, displaying games on your Wii U controller tablet and things like that. I just feel like it would be a good move on Sony's part to put these two together and really try to push that sale. On the other hand, I don't really know anybody that doesn't have either system and, is waiting for like one bundle to buy both of them at the same time. Now, if I were to run Sony, at this point in time, I would drop the price of the PS3 and drop the price of the PS Vita, so you got all those, new buyers coming in because it's like, oh, PS3s are so cheap and, oh, Vitas are affordable now. And then I would bundle them together, so for people that are outside of that market, that are totally outside of PlayStation, are like, damn, dude, I can get a PS3 and a Vita for a really cheap amount of money. Maybe I should jump into this whole PlayStation thing. But unfortunately, I don't run Sony, so the best I can do is just talk about it on the internet. So segueing nicely into the next news story, it's kind of the same thing. Sony is also considering a PS Vita price cut. And again, PlayStation UK Managing Director Fergal Gara also said that it's not a matter of if it's going to happen, but when a Vita price cut's going to happen. It's another interesting way to, kind of understand how the company operates. So I guess whenever they launch new systems, one of the first things they start to do, right, even when the system launches, when to start discussing that price cut. And unfortunately, right now, it's not going to come in 2012 in time for the holiday season. He said at the very least, it would be 2013. But then, trying to defend themselves, they also said, well, the Vita's still really affordable because we're packing all this extra stuff into it, like FIFA and Little Big Planet and, GameStop doing promotions and things like that, giving you more value for the entry price. Which I don't think is necessarily a bad thing. I mean, it's great to buy your Vita and have all this extra goodies with it, but for the initial lowering of the price would be, so much easier for a lot of other people to get into the system. And for Vita to succeed in a market with iPhone, Android, iPads, tablets, all these cheap smartphone games, the Vita definitely does need a price cut. So if you visit the PlayStation Store on your PS Vita right now, you'll see that PlayStation Mobile has now officially launched, and there's a handful of games on there and stuff like that. But it is the service is officially launched for PlayStation Vita and PlayStation certified devices, namely Android tablets and stuff like that. Now, I don't own an Android tablet or anything like that, but I can show you them being played on the PS Vita. So my question to you guys is, would you like me to review PlayStation Mobile games? Let me know in the comments below. And it looks like the Resistance franchise is the next to be part of this whole collection thing that Sony's been doing. Resistance 1, 2, and 3 is all going to be in one bundle for $40, and you get all 3 games. And there's also a best of DLC pack that's going to have some DLC packs for Resistance 2 and 3. Presumably, I'm assuming it's the best DLC they had to offer. There is no info on the release date yet, but it is $40, and, pretty good deal for the Resistance games. They're one of my favorite games of this generation. I love Resistance a whole lot. I love the lore and the story and all that. But what's interesting about this bundle is that it has Resistance 1 in it. Now, is this game going to have trophies? Resistance 1 obviously was before the time of trophies, and the game never got a trophy patch or anything like that. So I'm wondering if the game, being put on one Blu-ray disc with the other 2 Resistance games is going to warrant a, trophy patch. At the time of making this video, there's obviously no information about it yet, but, obviously I pray to God that it'll get trophies. Although it would really suck if there were only trophies in the Resistance collection and not, original copies of Resistance 1, because otherwise then I'd have to buy, 3 games I already own just to play trophies for one game. Which, to be totally honest, I would still probably do. That concludes this week's episode of Let's Talk PlayStation, but PlayStation mobile games, you want me to review them or not? I mean, I'm probably going to buy a couple of them, so just interested to know if some of you want to, see them in action. But that concludes this week's episode of Let's Talk PlayStation. I'm Ryan Badecki. Thank you for talking with me, and I will see you next Friday.